Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for another episode of this epic four-way battle for the Drivers' Championship. If you guys don't want to miss anything, the last few races have been pretty good. The standings are changing every single race. If you don't want to miss any of it, make sure you are subscribed. You hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, hit the notification bell so you know when these episodes are coming out. But the four-way battle for the championship continues. We got myself, we got Lewis Hamilton, we got Sergio Perez, and of course we've got Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton currently leads the championship by 9 points at 175. I'm at 166. We took a big punch after only finishing P9 in Japan, but we did take a 40 place grid penalty. So if you guys want to see that and watch me fight up to the front of the grid or into the points, hit the link above me. Go watch that. Come back and watch this one. Whatever order you want to watch it in, doesn't matter to me. After myself, we got the two Red Bulls, and with Sergio Perez taking P1 in Japan, he jumps up to P3. He passes Max Verstappen, and the two Red Bulls are both trying to fight for the Drivers' Championship, and at the same time they basically have the Constructors' Championship locked in as well. They probably had it locked in for a while. Guanyu Zhou for Mercedes has not been doing very well whatsoever. But for myself in this race in P2, we're looking to win the race. We have to win the race because these guys are so close. You don't know what's going to happen. Just hope to God nothing happens with these new components. There's no installation errors or anything along those lines. Into Q2, into our second hot lap. We are 4/10 up, and then we dropped a little bit because we got caught up behind Giovinazzi and Guanyu Zhou, and we had to dive bomb him into the last turn, and that got us into P3. We're just over 3.5 tenths behind Sergio Perez. Again, Verstappen in P5, but it's only Q2. Q3 is where, you know, the engine's at full power. Everyone's going their absolute fastest they can go. Into the second hot lap, we had an extra pair of mediums, so the first hot lap, I just went out on those to put a time up, and we got into P9, but the track's all worn in now, and we are on these soft tires. A lot of grip here. The rear end, super important to keep control of on this track. Very easy to lose it. But we're 4/10 up into sector 1, and it wasn't even a purple sector. I feel like the S's here are a lot harder than the ones in Suzuka because it's a lot tighter. So if you go a little bit off the line, it will affect your time a lot more than it does in Japan. You have a little bit of wiggle room in Japan, but obviously you still want to stay as close to the line as possible. Into the final two turns, 1.7 seconds up. And we're coming from P9, so hopefully we get a good spot here. And let's look at my live reaction of our time and place for this race.
We're all ready for tomorrow's
race.
Let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting.
What? Oh my God. I swear all my life, this has probably been the 4th or 5th time we've lost out to a position like that. It's ridiculous. But let's get into the race, guys.
City of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turns 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. But we may well see cars struggle to slow down there today as the wet weather does interfere with the low-speed grip. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. The engineer lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Zhou, Fernando Alonso, and Tsunoda, Verstappen, Ocon, Stroll, and Charles Leclerc. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Vettel, Giovinazzi, George Russell, and Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty. Raikkonen, Gasly, Nikita Mazepin, and Robert Schwartzman. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Sainz, Norris and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Bruh, can we please stop having wet races, man? I'm sick of them. This is a golden opportunity for us, but I effing suck at driving in the wet. We're starting on pole because Verstappen got a grid penalty, but it's in the wet, so we'll see how it goes. Tire strategy pretty standard for today at the moment. 14 on the intermediates and switch again onto the intermediates until the end of the race. Again, like last race, we may be able to go on a pair of softs by the end of it, but at the moment it looks like we are just, it's a full wet race today. It's a wet race, so let's get right into it, guys. All right, so let's see. After starting at the back of the grid last race, we're starting at the front of the grid in this one. And let's see if we can stay in front of Sergio Perez. Not, he's already coming up to our left. And we're already locking up. He's already taken the lead into turn 1, man. I can't drive in the wet. Oh, man, this is going to be bad. Why? In Texas, too. Like, when does it ever rain in Texas? When? I can't even freaking keep this car straight. Sergio Perez has already taken a pretty significant gap. And we're going to see if we can catch up to him. Hopefully he makes a mistake or he has some sort of engine failure. But Yuki Tsunoda is somehow starting at P3 or he overtook Hamilton. I wasn't really looking there. So we're going on to lap 15 here.
We're boxing this lap.
It's been, nothing's really happened. Perez got out in front by about 4 seconds. And then we've been chasing him down ever since. We were kind of cutting in on that gap. We got it down to about 3.5, I think. And then he went into pit. So now we're out in front. Verstappen is having some trouble with Grand Yu Joe back there. He's got a bit of a ways to go. So I think he's hoping that he can pit at a different time than Grand Yu Joe, and then he won't have to battle with him and lose time. He can just jump out ahead. So yeah, Grand Yu Joe is in the pits. He's 34 seconds with the pit stop.
Trying, but it's going to take a while to clear the standing water off the line.
Ooh.
Don't start thinking about slicks just yet.
So should I stay out is the question.
Robert is in the pits. Robert in the pits.
Great. Robert's in the pits. Am I pitting this lap? I don't even know if I'm pitting this lap. Should I stay out and try and wait for the softs? I don't know. Okay, you know what? Maybe I should go in this lap. I don't know. This is going to be a tough decision. I don't know how Lewis Hamilton stuff's doing on time. No, we're going to stay on one more lap. Let's see what happens here. We're taking a bit of a gamble, to be honest.
Okay, I think the track will be drying out quite soon. Mind you don't burn out your tires.
Okay, are we switching our strategy, Jeff? Come on. Let me know ASAP. I need to know. Because this is a glitch in the game where apparently the track starts drying up, but it still looks like it's raining. So there is a chance that we will be going onto the slicks, and then this race will finally get a little interesting. I can't race to my full potential here. I've never raced on this track in the wet. It never rains in Texas, like ever. They have some of the lowest precipitation levels, and it starts raining.
It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have.
Oh, come on, Jeff.
This rain should be stopping anytime soon. Be ready for the grip to come back, but don't overheat the tires. Inters seem like the fastest tire for now.
Alright, we're taking another risk. I think we're going to stay out again. Let's see what Jeff says. He's saying the rain is going any minute. Please go away, rain. Please. If the rain goes away now, we have this race basically done. Everyone's going to have to pit again. We're going to have a 12-second gap with just over 10 laps. We got 11 laps. Oh my god, look how wide we're running. We're probably losing a bunch of time. Alright, screw it. We're going to the pits this lap. We stayed out for 2 extra laps that we were supposed to, and that has kind of killed some of our time. But oh my god, that was a horrible pit entrance too. I think we're going to come out alongside Hamilton maybe, or he's just going to be passing us. Yeah, I think we're going to be racing Lewis Hamilton right out of the pit lane. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and we're wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton into turn 1. We get out just in front of him. But he's going to be battling us, so let's hope he gets caught in that dirty air and starts to fall behind. Sergio Perez has an 8-second lead now. Oh my god. Jeff, we really screwed up, man.
This is your final lap of the race.
Alright, so we're on the final lap. This is probably the quickest My Team Career Mode part you guys have probably ever seen. Literally the most boring race, I would say. This is why I hate racing in the wet. It doesn't make for good videos at all, but I'm gonna post this one anyways. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes, honestly, because I don't even think I said much this entire video. Literally no overtakes. No one has passed me at all besides Sergio Perez into turn 1. But we got the fastest lap, so that's going to be 19 points for us. And I think that's going to put us back on top, unless Sergio Perez has something to say about that. Max Verstappen is also taking a huge blow to his chances at winning the championship this weekend. He's going to finish in P4. He's 9 seconds behind me, so about 7 or 8 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. And it's funny because the 4 people fighting for this drivers championship are finishing in the top 4 this race, so the gloves are off this weekend as Sergio Perez wins back-to-back races, finishing in P1. He overtook me into turn 1 and he never looked back, but that's going to be a P2.
Yes, that's a
And
brilliant.
I
Excellent drive.
think we're
The team
back
will
at the
work
top
especially
of the
hard this
Drivers'
weekend, and
Championship.
this
We're going to
is a
see
fantastic
after
reward.
the podium stuff. Oh, and Red Bull wins the Constructors' Championship with that. So we never really had a chance for the Constructors, maybe after the first few races. But what really matters here is the Drivers' Championship. And with that Sergio Perez P1, we have dropped to P3 in the drivers' standings. However, it is only 2 points, so we're still in the fight. Verstappen looks like he's starting to drop out of the race here. He's gonna have 2 amazing races in Brazil and Jeddah in order to stay in this fight, but it's a 5-point gap within the top 3 drivers. On top of that as well, development charts as usual, we're even behind Ferrari. We're past McLaren just by a tad. Red Bull has a pretty significant gap, and I definitely feel it down the straights. They have a lot of power in that Honda unit. But we're going to try and change these development outcomes. We're going to get these brakes. I haven't touched these since the start. I believe this is like a tier 2 or tier 1 upgrade. And I kind of feel like going into the corners, I have to brake a little earlier. And we're going to rush it, see if we can get it. But of course, our chassis department has zero motivation ever, and they failed again. So we're not going to have it for Brazil, which isn't a big deal, but it will be important for Jeddah with those high speed corners. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, drop a like, hit the notification bell. We got Brazil next week. The week after that is Jeddah, and that will be the final 2 races of this championship battle, and I will see you guys then. All right, have a good day, guys.